every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good morning. Welcome to CoreTV News on the Hour. I am Gift Ogete. The plan by a civil coalition group to march on the presidential villa in Abuja to protest over the abduction of the Chibok girls was halted by the police. The police blocked off the National Assembly junction with personnel and trucks and prevented the protesters from accessing the road that leads to the presidential villa. The police operation was led by the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Sulaiman Abba, and FCT Commissioner of Police, Joseph Mbo. The coalition group, under the name Bring Back Our Girls, had earlier written to the presidency about its intention to take their daily protest to Aso Villa, but got no response from the authorities. The group, led by a former Minister of Education, Obi Ezekwesili, led the protesters wearing red T-shirts from the Unity Fountain along Shehu Shagari Way to the Federal Secretariat, where their march to the villa was cut short by the police. The crowd of protesters caused a traffic jam along the ever-busy way, and policemen had to divert vehicles to other roads as the demonstrators took over the entire Shehu Shagari Way, chanting solidarity songs intermittently. The group marched at the junction to the National Assembly, where they were addressed by the FCT Minister of State, Olajumoke Akinjide, who represented President Goodluck Jonathan. The group raised 10 posters for the presidency on the abduction of the girls and the security situation in the country. Among other things, the coalition asked the president why it took the federal government so long to seek for assistance from the global community, while the president was yet to visit Chibok since the abduction. The plans for the rehabilitation of Chibok community, specifications taken after the Paris Security Summit, and whether the government would exchange the abducted girls with Boko Haram members in custody. Lagos chapter of the National Union of Teachers protested the abduction of over 200 schoolgirls from Chibok. The protest is a call from the national body of the union, which saw all public schools across Nigeria closed. The teachers say 173 of their colleagues were also killed by the insurgents. Education correspondent Tomi Ojo has details in this report presented from our studios.
In protest against the abduction of schoolgirls from Chibok and the killings of teachers by the Boko Haram sect, the Lagos chapter of the Nigerian Union of Teachers marched from Gani Fawemi Park in Ojota to the office of the Lagos State Governor. The state chairman and secretary of the union tasked the federal government on a more aggressive approach to stop the insurgents from destroying the education system.
What we are saying is that our security outfit, our intelligence unit, must be proactive. We must be able to think ahead of time. Who are the people that are around? Are they supposed to be here? What is happening here? For them to be able to postulate what may likely happen in the next. If those things happen, the unnecessary bombings that are happening here and there, particularly in our schools, will not actually be. Meanwhile, one party A is saying it is the fault of party B, and party B is now parking the buck to party C. We are not interested as a teacher, as a labor movement, and as a professional.
Teachers are for education. Education is light. Boko Haram is against education. Whereas Boko Haram, they are making use of ammunition, they are making use of foreign goods, they are making use of products of education. Why are they against education? We are protesting for Nigerian government to rescue our children from prison. We are protesting against mass killing of our teachers from Adamawa, Borno, and Yobe.
After waiting for about 3 hours, the special advisor to the Lagos State Governor on Education, Fatai Olukoga, and the Commissioner for Transport, Kayode Ogweifa, received a letter from the teachers. They assured the teachers that their message will be passed to the governor and will be forwarded to the president.
The 1 day off that was prescribed, and that has been obeyed today is a testimony that the NUT has what it takes in the whole of the 36 states plus Abuja to do whatever NUT believes is right for the country. We have received the copy of the speech. We will transmit this to His Excellency, and His Excellency, I can assure you, as usual, we get this to them in Abuja. I know the president in Abuja will be receiving 36 plus 1 of this kind of letters, and the one from Lagos will not be left out.
School children participated in the protest and the bid to support their teachers and also lend their voice to the global campaign.
The National Union of Teachers has embarked on a nationwide protest to demand for the abduction of over 200 schoolgirls abducted from Chibok. The protest has necessitated the closure of public schools across the country. In Ekiti State, the teachers took to the streets in Ado-Ekiti. Rashid was there and filed in this report.
Joining other protesters across the country, teachers in Ekiti State condemned the abduction of the schoolgirls. Though no school was closed down, the rally attracted teachers from all local governments of the state.
Appealing and making every effort for the Boko Haram to release the abducted Chibok girls. Nigerian Union of Teachers, including that of Ekiti State, are also lending their voice to the release of the abducted Chibok girls.
The union leadership in its communique says over 100 teachers lost their lives to different attacks by Boko Haram over the years.
These girls should be brought back to Nigeria alive and provide security for teachers who are working in those states. A lot of them have been killed. Up to date, we have recorded 173 casualties.
The teachers expressed grief over activities of the insurgents and offered prayers for the safe release of the girls.
Even though I don't stay or live or work in the north, but we all feel the pain of these girls being where their parents are not opportune to be. We are feeling the pain, and we are even nursing the pain every minute, every day. And that is why the majority of the teachers are here to register their protest against that dastard act that had been done by the so-called Boko Haram people.
We only pray that God will come to our rescue, that God will go straight to their source and dry up their source, and God will reveal all their secrets, or even all their hiding places will be brought to open, and God will put them into shame, and our girls, the future of this great country, our queens, our leaders be released unto us.
The global protests are aimed at putting pressure on the government to step up efforts to rescue the abducted girls.
President Jonathan is to do everything humanly possible within his power to secure the release of these students alive. We want them back to their parents as soon as possible.
And provide adequate security for teachers and students throughout the country.
The onus lies on the federal government and all relevant agencies to expedite action in the release of these girls, and by extension to give adequate security to all and sundry in the country, so as for Nigerians to have a sigh of hope and to be able to sleep with their 2 eyes closed. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
Away from Ekiti and back to Lagos, students of the Lagos State University took to the streets to protest the hike in school fees. The students hijacked the bus rapid transit system, popularly called the BRT, from their school gate to convey them to Ojota, where the protest took place. Tomojo was at the scene. Her report is presented from our studios.
These are the students of the Lagos State University protesting the hike in their school fees. The students complain that they have no hostels and the school is under-equipped. They also say the increase of the fees defies the reason for the establishment of the university.
We've staged this protest to drive home our demand on the issue of reduction of our fee. Our school just released a bulletin that all payment for school fees should be made before May 30, 7 days from now. How do you expect that to be done? Students will just finish exam on April 30th. How do you expect that to be done? For them to pay 250, 300,000 naira in 8 days. That should not be done. That is why we are protesting.
Why Lagos State University was found. The founding ideology of Lagos State. And now look at this obnoxious policy whereby you want to price education from the hands of the poor, for the common people. Then we need to also look at what has our parents contributed from indirect and direct tax towards education. Even Lagos State itself lose priority or has a misplaced priority on education. It does not even reach up to the 26% benchmark, the UNESCO 26% benchmark.
The students say if the fees remain as it is, Lagos State University will be the highest paying public university in West Africa.
The governor of Lagos State has decided to act ultra-vires. He has decided to act against the promise he promised us in 2011 when he was seeking re-election. He told us that nothing will happen to our school fee. But as I am telling you, immediately he won the second term ticket. He increased the school fee of Lagos State University by 1,000%. I have not heard of that anywhere in the world. Maybe you don't know. To be a medical student in Lagos State University now, you have to pay 350,000 7 times.
350, 7 years.
To be an art student, you have to pay 198,000 4 times.
We all know the committee that made them increase the school fees, you know, recommend it based on improving the welfare of LASU. The school fees does not have anything to do with the improvement of our school or with anything.
Students shut down traffic for some hours, stopping vehicles and commuters from moving along the 8-lane Ojota Road, causing heavy traffic gridlock.
The Northern States Governors Forum has flooded the Minister of Information, Labaran Mako, over his comments on the insurgency in the northeastern parts of the country. He described the statement credited to Mako after the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday as unfortunate. The chairman of the forum and governor of Niger State, Babangida Aliyu, at the opening of a one-day meeting of federal and state government security administrators in Minna, says it is very uncharitable. It is more than unfortunate if the minister's views represented the opinion of the federal government. Mako was quoted as saying that governors in the northern parts of the country were not doing enough to contain insurgency in the region. You're watching CoreTV News. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll take you to Thailand. Stay with us.
I don't think the election was actually...
What are the people saying?
5 local governments out of the 30 local government is more than many states in the north.
The economy is booming. Where is the economy booming? Bomb blast in Abuja.
Don't you have security?
Why are we fighting?
Presidency should not just sit in Abuja or in Asokoro or wherever he lives.
Government are sponsoring this local arm. They know them.
Men cannot be there and be there at the same time.
The life of the citizens, community need to be protected.
It can't work out.
Bring the message of peace. Let there be proper devolution of power from the center. The center is too powerful.
The people, only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back. You're still watching CoreTV News on the hour. For more information on our news and other programs, visit us on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/CoreTVNews. You can also follow us on Twitter at CoreTVNewsNG. Also, watch us on YouTube. It's www.youtube.com/CoreTV_news. And now to Thailand. Thailand's army chief seized power in a military coup, deposing the elected government and plunging the country into uncertainty after months of deadly political strife. General Prayut Chan-o-cha made the announcement in a televised address to the nation, saying the armed forces had to act to restore stability in the deeply divided Southeast Asian nation. He said power would be held by the committee, which he will lead. Moment before the stunning announcement, witnesses say they saw leaders of Thailand's two main political parties as well as its rival protest movements being taken by the military from a venue where Payot had convened talks aimed at resolving their differences. But it was unclear if they had been formally detained. Payot says he seized power due to the violence in Bangkok and many parts of the country that resulted in loss of innocent lives and property and was likely to escalate. The announcement came shortly after the opposition camp and other top political actors had gathered for the second straight day of reconciliation talks at the heavily guarded.
You are the people who see the scene, but I'm in the hall.
And that's CoreTV News at this hour. Thank you so much for watching. We'll continue with the program Core Digest, but that's after the break. Stay with us.